Okay, long and short stitch. Long and short stitch is what we use in silk shading, which can be it can be a challenging thing, a challenging technique to master, but I think it's a good idea to give you guys an exposure to it now. So you're going to split stitch your border. So go back and, split stitch around whatever it is that you're going to do long and short stitch on. And then you're going to long and short stitch, basically, if you've got an edge, okay, let's say I've got an edge here, you're going to stick to the edge, but you're going to vary the length of your stitches. Hello. Hey, come back here. You're going to vary the length of your stitches on your first row, okay? So I'm always going to start over here because this is my edge, right? But I'm going to make this stitch shorter. And this stitch longer, but not as long as that other one. Okay. And then this next one, we're going to vary that too. And we're going to keep going. Okay? Until we fill in the whole shape with long and short. Make that one really short. Okay, so that's long and short, the first row. The second row, actually, here, let me park that guy. Your second row we'll do with the orange. Hello. All right, second row, you are going to come up in the previous row of stitches. You're going to be careful not to split any threads, but you're going to come up in the previous row of stitches and go back down. Oops, what I grabbed, there we go. And you're still going to vary the length of your stitches. Come up in the stitching and down in the design. Now the reason you don't come up on the fabric and down on the design is because going down on the design like that, after a period of time, it creates a divot and a sort of a dent in your stitching, and it looks less smooth. So unless that's what you're going for, like if you're stitching a bird or a fish or something where you want it to have more texture, then you want it to be as smooth as possible. So you're just going to keep doing that, staggering your stitches. These are very contrasting colors, but usually when you're doing long and short stitch in different colors, it's because you're doing silk shading, and you'll get a very nice feathering blended look the farther you go. And you go all the way down. Let's say there's a third color, you just keep going. But long and short, the first row, you're always going to have a smooth edge on the design line, but you're going to vary the length of your stitches. The second and future rows, you're going to stagger, come up in your stitching and down in the bare fabric. Up in your stitching and down in your bare fabric, and keep your stitches alternating in length, right? So that they're not exactly next to each other and they don't look precisely geometric either. They're not exactly staggered, they're randomly staggered, which I know for me that's a challenge. And then you will get a nice blended effect. This is again not blended because these colors are contrasting, so you can see what I'm doing. But that is long and short stitch, and it has a multitude of uses. Just like satin stitch, you're going to do your first stitches in the middle and go to one side, and then you're going to come back to the middle and go to the other side. And that keeps your stitches nice and straight because you have a guideline. All right, get going.